Just let it run. It doesn't matter. Give him some B-roll, right? So I'm supposed to introduce myself?
How long you been flying?
Okay. So I'm Bryan Rose, right there. I'm Bryan Rose with the Fat Tire Cowboys, and I've been flying 40 years. I was that kid that always wanted to fly. I was just obsessed with it from the time I was a really small kid. So I started flying when I was late 15 years old. Late that year I started flying, and I soloed when I was 16 years old. So, and I'll be 55 this year, so I've been flying a while. My first STOL experience was I had a Cessna 140 and had a guy, an old man that told us at Headley, Texas, told us we could go out in the middle of nowhere and pull his Super Cub out of a field, out of an old hangar, and fly it. And when we got there, his runway was literally a 2-lane track with a turn in the middle of it. So I had to land a Cessna 140 on that and make the turn. And we pulled the Super Cub out and just had a great time with it. It's 1974 Cessna Skywagon. We call it the Hell Bitch. It's just like Captain Call's horse. You better respect it. It's a hard airplane to fly well, and I don't know what I'm saying. So I've got a 1974 Cessna Skywagon that we call the Hell Bitch. It's just like Captain Call's airplane, or screw that. You can't put that. So I've got a 1974 Cessna Skywagon, and we call her the Hell Bitch. And the reason we do that, she's like Captain Call's horse from Lonesome Dove. You better respect her, or she'll certainly turn around and bite you. It's got a Horton STOL kit on it. It's got BGs on it. It's got Airhawk 29s on it. I don't know. It's got about probably 25 different modifications on the airplane. It was a lot of fun. You know, I'd never done a STOL contest, so I really didn't know what to expect. Showed up there, and we did manage to practice on Thursday. That was a lot of fun. I will say it was a lot more fun than I really expected. The weather was really challenging, which really added a lot of fun to it also. You know, and we showed up there kind of, look, we'll secure the final place finishes in this. And, you know, but then the competitive juices start to flow, and you start thinking, why did I leave my seats in? Why did I have all this gas on here and things? And you start thinking about weight and CG, and I could have done a lot better. You know, my last run, I knew I had one good run in, so I really went for it on that last run, and I scratched by probably, 15 or 20 feet. This thing with the Horton kit and the VGs, it just gives no indication. If the ball's in the middle, it's just going to stop. And had I not had that extra weight on there, you know, the seats and a little bit extra fuel on board, I could have stretched it out and really scored a lot better there. So I plan on competing in a few more along the way and taking the seats and things out and taking weight in consideration before we do it.
What was your favorite part about the Lone Star STOL?
Beer? Good answer. You know, the competition was really my favorite part. I mean, it was a lot of fun, just coming to that line and competing against everyone and trying to put it on the mark.
How do you think Doug Johnson did? The guy who put the competition on.
It's Jackson.
No, Doug Jackson.
Yeah, thank you. Ask that question again, and you just erase that out. It's like it never happened.
How do you think Doug Jackson did?
You know, he'd never done one, and I'd considered doing one at Foxtrot 49, and man, you just start looking at the logistics of doing it and what it takes, and I said no. So it's very admirable that the guy took off with this thing, and I think he did a fantastic job. First one out of the box. Can you imagine planning your first one, and you've got to deal with all this weather and and people not showing up, and now you've got live TV coming out. I just can't imagine what he went through. So, you know, I give the guy a big thumbs up. I think he did a fantastic job.
There was a fair amount of participation from the locals contributing to the prizes. Not only yourself as a Fat Tire Cowboy, but David Isham with his Western wear, the belt buckles, all
yeah.
It really made a nice show out of it. What'd you think about that?
Well, the belt buckles are irrelevant to me because I didn't win one. I really wanted one of those buckles. I didn't tell y'all, but I really wanted one of those buckles. So I want to go back next year and try to pick one of those up. Those designed by David were incredible, and that was an incredible prize. And then, I mean, I know it was our prize bucket that we gave her one, but I thought that was incredible that FlightOutfitters.com would come forward with and help us put those together with the jackets and the Fat Tire Cowboy logoed stuff. It was really cool.
What about the Fat Tire Cowboys and the Fat Tire Cowboy team?
Well, I'm the very best one out of all of them. The rest of them suck, so I don't know what to tell you, but I don't know. So, woohoo! So let me start all over again on this, all right? So I am done. I finished.